Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Hey guys, Pouncy here. Get your ears ready to rumble.
Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Hi guys, Pouncy here. It's the end of my day. I'm pretty exhausted. But I wanted to do a quick video on something that I just discussed with one of my clients. You know, we've heard the manifestation tool, and there's tons of people out there teaching it, of, you know, think positive. It's very important, so I'm not going to contradict that one. Think positive, say positive words rather than negative words. And I always followed that. And I was like, yes. And I, you know, like, oh, you know, be mad at myself if I actually said something negative and I shouldn't be. Because, I mean, sometimes we eat food or whatever it might be, and someone's like, oh, this is going to make my stomach hurt. And your stomach hurts later. That's because you manifested it and you gave it meaning. Sometimes if you get food, I'm using an example, there's no meaning on the food except it's delicious and, oh my God, you got to have this, it's good for you, blah, blah, whatever the word is, or just decadent. And then you go to eat it and you're like, oh my God, it's going to land on my ass tomorrow. Or we've all done it. Maybe not men, but, you know, maybe. But there's always comments made about your food when you're eating it. Like, oh, I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. Or, oh, I shouldn't be eating carbs. That's another whole video. Should we be promoting no carbs? I don't know. That's another meditation for me. But I want to tell you what happened in meditation. 2 weeks ago, I thought in my head there was a chair that, let me just show you the chair so you can see it. Okay, so you saw the chair. There was a chair that I had that I gave to a friend of mine. And that was 5 years ago. And I said, I'm just lending it to you. I want it back. Well, 5 years later, I'm like laying in my bed, and the night before, and it's kind of a joke because I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I think I'd like to get that chair back. I'd love to get that chair back. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to have to pay for shipping from California to Chicago. Forget it. Anyway, point is, next morning I get on Facebook. Kid you not, I just moved. So the area wasn't even changed, I don't think, in my phone, but maybe Google Map, whatever. But Facebook says you have things in the marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, in your area. So for some reason I clicked on it, because normally I wouldn't even bother. I clicked on it, and what did I see? That chair that I thought said $100, because my eyeballs are, you know, we all like start to have certain things happen. So especially early in the morning, for someone who's 50 and above, you're looking and you're like, what the hell am I reading? And I thought it said $100, and I'm like, what? And it was $10. Same exact identical chair that I thought about before I went to bed. Okay, so someone's going to say, well, that's positive. You like that chair and you wanted it back and blah, blah. So now I'm going to get real nitty gritty to the tools of manifestation. Now, some of you know I do angel communication. Very good at it, I must say. This is not about a competition with other people. It's just about myself and how good I can hear, especially my own angels, but also ascended masters. But let's talk just strictly about angels. I introduce people to their angels. And for years, I gave up the wheel and gave it to my angels. This is when I had Wilbur, which some of you know Wilbur, or knew Wilbur. And I had 3 years of them protecting me and helping me through that ordeal. And there's a big story I'm writing on it in a book. when it's coming out, you guys will know about it. Oh, Chabobo, give Mom a kiss. He's so freaking cute. All right, so isn't that funny that you give me a kiss after saying that? There's no coincidences in life, because this is the spirit of my old dog. And that's another whole story. So if you want to hit the off switch, unsubscribe after hearing that, well, sucks to be you, because it is the truth, what I'm explaining to you. But that's another whole story, which I don't think I've gone live on YouTube with this story about Bruno, my dog. But let me get back to the facts. The red chair is online for $10. It was originally $20 for 2 weeks, and the guy just slashed it to $10. I look at the area because I'm like, oh, I'm not driving far in Colorado, I don't want to do that. And it was right in my area of where I live. We're talking 7 minutes from my house. I go to pick up the chair, and the chair you saw in the pictures is the same chair. But the chair, it wasn't the chair of my friends. It was the identical chair, style, model, color, everything. The very next day. So now let's get to my real reasoning for this, telling the story. Because it is interesting what I just told you, but let's get even more interesting. Before I moved into the place I'm in now, I just moved like less than a month ago. During about 7 months of my time in the other place, I was complaining to one of my good family members, and I was saying, oh, I can't stand that, there's no circulation in this place, especially the bedroom. And it was a townhouse, but it had all the windows on one side. So I'm like, oh, can't stand it. Then these are all, now hear how I said it. Oh, I can't stand it. There's no circulation in here. Circulation. Remember that word. I'm going to try to remember it, but this is difficult to tell the story and remember words that you just talked about. So circulation. Number 2, I'd tell my aunt, I'm taking a bath. I love bubble baths. Oh, I don't even like showers. I just take bubble baths. And once in a blue moon, if there's like a 911, I'll take a shower. But I love always a bubble bath. I'll make time for one. So circulation, bubble bath. I'm going to try to just pinpoint certain things. Safety for Bruno, number 1 in my eyes. The safety for my little boo, that he didn't have coyotes, because coyotes are a little wild here. And 2 days before I moved out of my other place, a coyote was looking at me from across the street, and literally he could jump my fence. So, coyote. So we got circulation. I'm sorry, I had a glass of wine. Circulation. I'll figure it out because I'll have to go back to the video and be like, what the hell did I just say? Anyway, but we'll get to all that. Forget the words. This is not a fucking test. I'll just go back and re-edit it, and then that'll be it. Okay, so we have, what other things did I complain about? Well, there was a lot of things, but they're all negative. If you look at the way I said them, they're all negative. But I wanted safety for Bruno. I wanted better circulation with windows so my plants could grow and live. What else did I say? That there was so many things. Oh, the bathtub. There was about my car, saying, oh, I got a new car. There could be hailstorm, and if you're in a carport, boom, boom, your car gets dented. So I was like that, and, but everything I want you to hear how I said it is, oh, I need to get a place with a garage. And then, oh man, I got to get out of here. I got to get a place with circulation. Or, oh, Pat, I really love taking, bubble baths. I love it. It's so wonderful. So you get the picture here. What I found out is you don't have to say negative. You don't have to say words that are negative when you call someone an asshole. Hard to do sometimes on this planet. Ooh. But, or a biatch, I know people out there say biatch. But the point is, we have to say, I got a little close there. I was like, whoa. We have to say to ourselves, what is negative and what is positive? Maybe we're telling it and connecting to it and saying it is negative when it's not. Because everything that I said had negative connotations. But you have to ask yourself, how are you saying it? Oh, that's a really intense one. How are you saying the negative words? And if the end result of the negative words that you're saying is to better your health, or better your life to make you happier, or to keep another being safe, to keep a plan alive because you care. Do you understand? That negative words don't mean anything, or positive words. It's about you telling the universe that you're doing it in an unselfish manner. Haha. Took me this long to get around to it. I might edit this out just so you can just watch this portion. What is self-centered narcissism? Thinking of yourself. And maybe it does work when you say, I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get a new haircut. Oh, I'm going to get whatever it is people do, buy a new dress or tux outfit. And I'm going to impress. And it all into their self-image. And that's okay to be into your self-image, but you should be more into what's in your heart. Does that make sense? So when you're into, obviously, what's in your heart, and you're really doing it for the well-being of yourself, because that's what your angels want, is you to be happy. They want you to be healthy. Did you hear me? They want you to be happy, and they want you to be healthy. But they also want to guide you, depending on your spiritual journey or your human journey, however you want to interpret it in your head. They want to direct you in a direction that is best for you and your well-being. And you might think, oh, I know what's better for me. Well, go ahead and think it. But joke's on you. You might do pretty well on your own. I'm not saying you're not going to do well on your own directing yourself. But you do have help from the divinity, whether you want to admit it or not. Now, if you don't want to admit that, and you want to say, oh, I don't want to give credit to my angels, well, then there starts to be lessons that you learn. But I'm not getting into all that. I want to get into the end of the story so you understand the idea of negative words. Negative words are not as negative as we think, depending on how we are phrasing the words coming out of our mouth. You're phrasing it. So are you phrasing it like, I want, or are you phrasing it like, I need to be in a place where I have better circulation, health and wellness. That's what your angels want you to have. Number 2, I want a place where I don't have to worry about coyotes trying to bite my dog. Safety. Put you in a second floor place, and I've never lived in a second floor place my entire life that's open and beautiful and all this stuff. But he doesn't have to, I don't have to worry about at nighttime. If he goes out in the patio, there's no coyotes to come go chompity chomp. That's protection, because I have my heart for my dog. Do you understand? So even though I said, oh man, I can't stand getting up and down and going to the door and having to look always to make sure he's okay, because I worry about somebody stealing him, or because he's really cute, or I'd be worried about, and he's pretty cute, but this is him right now. But he's not looking too cute, because he's sleeping. Hello. Anyway, they protected me with that, gave me this beautiful, big, humongous patio off of one of my my living room area. And then bathtub. Could fit 2 of me in there. It's humongous, big oval bathtub. Didn't I talk about how much I love taking baths? I always talked about watching Bruno from the kitchen, and then I couldn't do that from that place, even though I had a little cutout window. Guess what? My kitchen is completely open. Forget anything that you see that looks dirty. I don't know, hopefully it's not dirty. But hopefully I got this good on camera. But I'm still unpacking and getting myself situated. There's the red chair over there. So, I don't know if that came on camera, but the point is, I want you to know that I asked for that, and then boom, I get it. I had so many no's on different properties that I was like, what? I'm a good renter, and I'm blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Every place that said no or kind of stalled and all this other stuff came down to me moving in here, and I liked it. I liked this place when I saw it. It took a while to look at it. Guess what? All of a sudden, I look around, and I'm like, I told my aunt, I'm like, ooh, I got a big bathtub, Pat. Oh, my God, I got like big open kitchen where I can watch Bruno. Remember me talking about that? Yeah. Oh my God. It has circulation. It has windows everywhere. There's more windows in this joint. I mean, here's windows right here. I don't know if you can see it right across there. There's windows down here, you know. And there's windows in the bedroom, trust me, and in the second bedroom, and in the bathroom, and in the laundry room. There's windows everywhere. That's light-filled, beautiful. Circulation's amazing because obviously second floor. Across the way from me is all open farm. I talked about privacy all the time. That was one of my number one things I talked about. Privacy, privacy, privacy. How important it is for me to have privacy. Pull into my garage, go right up into my place. That's my type of lifestyle. And I wanted that, but I didn't have that before I had houses. I would just go right into the front door. And, you'd always have neighbors like, did you buy groceries? What you get? And you're just like, oh, God. Or did you get that mail? Or did you hear about so-and-so? You know what I mean? And you don't get that. I just zip right into the garage. They knew what I wanted that was going to make me happy. It's not about lavish. It has a nice fireplace. It's a beautiful place. But it's not about the beauty. It's about the things that they have put in place that is phenomenal. So this is the grand finale. The mover, very handsome, must I say. He looks like Ashton Kutcher. We go out on the patio after they were like moving shit in. And then he said, he goes, man, this is a really cool place. I really like it better than what you had before. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then he's like, I love your mountain view. And I'm like, and I was in the kitchen and I heard him. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, you have a mountain view. I'm like, where? Laughing. I go outside. Take a look. I'll show you. So that's my mountain view. I could cry. So I hope you watch this video straight through because I'm letting you know that everything I said and the way I said it wasn't like, I'm going to get a mountain view. I'm going to get a place with like a big bathtub. I was happy when I was talking about the bathtub for sure because I used to take nice baths in the other place. Every time I talked about a coyote or Bruno, because I'm very protective of him, my dog, and I was like, I got to get out of here. You understand? That's not like kumbaya. I got to get out of here. I'm tired of like the privacy. Everybody watches you and sees. I just like privacy. And I talked to my aunt about this the most. She would be the proof. I am telling you that your angels are like, oh, okay, Helena. Okay, Helena. And they're writing it down. Do you know why they're doing it? Because every one of those things I spoke to you about is about health and well-being. Bathtub. Very private, not stressful. You're not stressed out of other people watching you, looking at you. Safety for Bruno. It's about me caring about another being. I'm trying to pinpoint certain ones I said, but this is hard to remember all this stuff. The older you get, your brain sometimes doesn't work as good. So in certain circumstances, I'm a little worn out because I've been working a lot. But nevertheless, Mountain View gives me, fills my soul up. It's something about the mountains and the ocean that make me feel like, wow. You see my Mount Shasta video. The bathtub, the open kitchen, I have that security of watching Boo Boo when we do get a couch of what he's doing. You know what I mean? Because I like to keep an eye on him, keep it cool. And it's also nice when you entertain. And the list goes on of the different attributes of the place. I mean, there's other stuff that I haven't even mentioned to you. But I can tell you that they know and they jot it down. And they know that you're doing this for your own well-being, for your health and wellness. You're not asking for something that is kind of like you're not going to do the work. Does that make sense? Like, you can't say, oh, angels, I'd love to lose 20 pounds. They will guide and help you, but if you keep stuff in your face, then they're going to continue. You're going to not have that problem. But they will assist you with it. And it sounds crazy, but they do. And maybe when you pick up the donut, it's just all of a sudden falls out of your hand. That shit's funny. Or you go to take a bite of a burger and someone goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that." No. But personally, you have to take responsibility and be the powerhouse in your physical dimension, and go out and get whatever you want. But I'm trying to explain in this long video that it's words that have meaning, but it's also how you pronunciate, or that's not word. An English major is going to be like, it's not pronunciate. It's how you verbally, let's just say, express it. Because if you're expressing it where, oh, I'm so tired of getting up and down and with these coyotes, and I just want Bruno to have safety. That's all that matters to me, is his safety, and my heart melts for him. Different things. And then he gave a pretty. It's pretty. It's a pretty place, and the privacy and all that. So it's for your well-being. It's always about well-being. So they're like, okay, this is for Helena's well-being. She's not asking for, oh, that $5,000 Louis Vuitton purse. No offense to anybody who buys Louis Vuitton. Again, it's about the principle of it, is you're asking for something that's for your well-being. Some people out there would giggle and laugh and say, well, Louis Vuitton is good for my well-being. And I would actually second that in some instances, but I'm not spending $5,000 on a handbag, and that's the whole story, because I have other things that I need to pay for, like Bruno's college. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But the point is I'm not getting into all the logistics of that. I just want to explain negative words can have positive meaning depending on how verbally you express it. So if you say, I'm a fucking loser, I'm a dumbass, or, I can never ever get a job doing that. How about saying, you know what, I could do better. I'm going to be a better human and try to do better at this. But, you do pretty good for yourself, Helena, whatever, or whatever your name is. You say, I did pretty good for myself, but, I can do better at this. So calling yourself a dumbass, big difference. Then you move on to, whatever, the scenarios. I mean, I think you put 1 and 1 equals 2. The scenarios I'm giving you, you should probably understand and follow what I'm trying to say. A lot of people speak about their profession, or they speak about, oh, I could never do that, but I'm so proud of her. No. But anyway, when you say those things, you are what you say. And all of us are guilty of that. There's no one out there that could say, oh, I never had a negative thought about myself, or I never, thought, oh, whatever it might be. The thing is getting out of the habit of that and using positive words. Someone's ringing in on my phone, like always. But the thing is that, and number 2 is living and breathing it, and living and breathing in more of an unselfish manner. Because I received this place that I'm in now, and I could see everything that I talked about. It came to fruition, and some of the things where it came to fruition, it's kind of the funniest part of all this, are things that I was complaining about, but in a way where these things I was complaining about, I really need in my life. My angels know that it's important to my well-being. It's important to my no stress on my mind. Do you understand? So it's not about, again, I think I explained myself well. If I didn't, you can message me and say, you just need to stop talking. Or, yes, I understood, or could you explain? Because it's really difficult to explain these things sometimes when you come out of meditation and then you're trying to put it on, on verbally to people. So but always recognize your angels that are next to you, or spirit guides, however you want to believe it. They're guiding you and helping you. And wow, you couldn't ask for anything better. It is an honor to when you finally know that they are following you everywhere you go, and they're willing to help you with anything and everything. And I am living proof, because I see it all around me. On so many levels, I'm writing a book on it. Just hear me out. I'm telling you the truth. And guys, I just want to clarify. I'm not saying that you should use negative words and you'll get positive vibes or positive results from it. What I am saying is If you're saying it in a way where you're kind of complaining about something you want better for someone else or for yourself, for the well-being and safety. That's what this is all about. Negative words like ugly. I'm sure we can think of 10,000 words, but right now my head is addled. But negative words that you would say to someone else, or, you know, different words. Yeah, I hate to say, you know, racist remarks, body shaming, bullying, all the negative words you can think of. No. They don't have any. They are very strong, and they do affect another human, whether we like to admit it or not. Now, if you're joking around and you say, "Oh man, you're acting like an idiot," that's just joking. It's a different energy than saying it to someone in a context of the tone is mean and vicious. So my positive response to negative words or negative editing of how you say things, that someone might say to me, well, when you said it that time about, oh, you know, I'm tired of getting up and down and checking out the window to make sure Bruno's okay because coyotes or whatever it might be. Someone might be like, oh, that sounds negative. Well, in the end, it kind of helped me because I'm in a place now where he's completely safe. And the other places I looked at were different than this. This is the only place that he's completely safe. And I will say again that the words of like what you see in like the rice, I forget the doctor, his name, I think he's Japanese. And he did the test, but a lot of other people have done the test where they put the rice in the jar and then the names on the jar or the water in the jar, and then they looked at it under a microscope and saw the difference. I don't know if any of you know about it, but it's fantastic and beautiful, and it shows you how much words really mean, because the rice that has the negative words degrades faster, you know, bacteria develops and all this other stuff. So if you, in essence, to me, if you surround yourself with positive, happy energy, case in point, animals, children, that's where you are living with less free radicals. But I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm trying to say I'm not naying anything to do with negative words do have negative consequences. However, if you say negative words and it has a good underlying reason why you're saying it, because you want better for yourself or you want better for another, for mind, body, or spirit, then it's a win-win and it will come to fruition. And your angels will bring that to fruition for you. That's my experience, or spirit guides, however you word it. It's beautiful. And I'm out. So I hope that what I explained does make sense, because sometimes I repeat myself because I want the other person on the other side might understand what I'm saying, but then I'm explaining it another way so they can kind of, like, the other person can get it. So don't get frustrated with me, because there's a method behind my madness. I try to say it in different ways to kind of get the masses to kind of get it if they watch my video. Anyway, on that note, yeah, so I hope that I made sense.
We pounce and then we bounce.
Don't forget to like Pouncy's video
And subscribe!